The first vehicle we've got going to come out for you is one of these oddities that was put into service as what is called a UOR, Urgent Operational Requirement for Afghanistan. And they've taken it into the main army fleet now. So in other words, some of these UOR vehicles they got for one purpose only. As soon as the war in Afghanistan, Iraq was over, they've got rid of them. They don't want them in the main fleet for the future. But this is a vehicle that's coming on now, the Jackal, that has been taken into service. About 500 of them now in the British Army, long-range reconnaissance, and I'll hand over to Steve, who you've been on one of these, haven't you?
Yep, it's an excellent platform. The crews swear by them. Light reconnaissance vehicle was originally built by Supercat as a patrol vehicle. As I said, it came into UOR service specifically for Afghanistan. I'll do my bit for the plugging of the army. So it's currently in service with the Queen's Dragoon Guards, the Light Dragoons, and the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards, mainly the cavalry, plus some yeomanry units.
And the idea is, what you've got here is a vehicle that was designed by, well, a number of different component parts on there, obviously, but it's got a very good off-road suspension system. It's got a sort of an effective armour protection level against light arms, small arms, etc. But the big one about it is pretty obvious to everyone watching. Driver, commander, and whoever's going to be up in the top there, fantastic all-round visibility. And it's that idea, because this, if you're trying to find the enemy, you want to see and know where they are. And having a platform like this that can get you to places on the battlefield, around country, that other vehicles can't necessarily get to. Great all-round visibility, and your gunner instructor, it's not a bad weapons platform as well, is it?
It's a great weapons platform. It can take a number of different systems. So the commander sat in the front has a 7.62 GPMG machine gun. Everyone knows a GPMG, excellent weapon system. The turret mount's got a universal weapons mount on there, so it can take anything from a GPMG, a 50 caliber machine gun, again, very popular weapon, and a grenade machine gun. These grenade machine guns provided excellent service in Afghanistan, and it creates massive amounts of firepower for something that's such a light vehicle.
And just again, other points that I know sometimes we've got a very sophisticated, knowledgeable audience here today, you know all about tanks, but just some of those things that we sometimes overlook. Those little stubby tubes on the front, smoke grenade dischargers. Now, the British Army were not allowed to fire white phosphorus anymore. What's this wonderful stuff they fire now?
Very good question. I'm going to bore the death out of a lot of you. So the original smoke grenade dischargers and smoke grenades we used over the years were just phosphorus. That was a visual screening system. Recently, Rheinmetall Land Systems, a great German company, they developed a new system which not only screens the vehicles from visual detection, it also means it can screen them for thermal as well, and also scatters laser rangefinders. So the newer generation of smoke grenades really do work incredibly well.
But can I ask as well, this is a vehicle that was obviously designed for service in fairly warm climates on the whole. I'd imagine on a cold day in Salisbury Plain, you're going to get a bit nippy in the front there.
Yeah, top tip, wrap up warm. But there are also some heating things in there. There's little pipes in there that the lads usually jam up their trouser legs to keep them warm, so it's not too bad.
Okay, and as Steve said to me earlier, if I shut up for a moment, he's going to drive this vehicle off. I will shut up for a moment, but just listen to how quiet this vehicle is and think about that in comparison with a track vehicle for reconnaissance, that whole idea about noise, stealth. See, that is impressive. I don't know if I am just going deaf from all the tanks, but I can hardly hear that driving around the place at the moment. So that coming up a hill behind you, suddenly appearing on the top with the 50 caliber, is going to put the wind up some people, isn't it? Now tell us a bit about the suspension on this, because it's quite clever, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a very clever suspension setup. It's essentially got 3 systems which can lift the vehicle into 3 separate positions. It could be all the way down, medium, and all the way up. The original plan by Supercat was to have the vehicle drop all the way down to create a stable firing platform. This is pretty impractical for the British Army. You like to fire and move straight away. It was also found that the stability didn't really make much difference to the accuracy of the weapon systems. The other setting is the intermediate one, where it's, as you see now, it's not too high, not too low. That's 90% where it operates in. It's still a stable platform, it's great for going cross-country. The final setting then is in the fully upright position. That's the suspension to be the most rigid it can be, and it comes handy when you're blasting down the motorway, for example. Top speed of this vehicle is 80 miles an hour, so what you don't need is all this roll from sort of a 4x4 vehicle.